Alright, hello everyone, Inklander here, where today I'm going to be doing a stream of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch. So let me know if everything sounds okay and looks okay as we're getting started. And Ring Rang, hello, welcome to the stream. This stream, like yesterday's, is only going to be lasting an hour. Usually my streams do go for 2 hours, but I've been a little busy, so this one's also going to have to go for an hour, even though usually streams would be two. But let's go ahead and dive into the online here. We can do some worldwide here. Versus race. Stick with all of my different kart combinations. And alright, we might not be loading immediately into a lobby here. Anyway, Riftmaster is going well, Been doing some of the artwork for it recently. That's I mean, the game is sort of done. One mode of it is anyway. Still working on the other one. And I've been working on that. Been working on the kind of trailer setup thing for it, and I've also been working on doing some more card art. So yeah, it's going good. Going pretty well. The hope is to have a very early like 2021 release. But no specifics on that quite yet. That's kind of what's being Cloud Top Cruise, or late 2020, but that's the hope. We'll see. We'll find out. There's not very many people in this lobby here, is there? Alright, Sweet Canyon. And the exciting thing for the stream is have my Nintendo Switch wireless GameCube controller back. I finally unboxed it. So, finally got my Nintendo Switch controller of choice out of where I packed it, finally. So, I'm excited about that. Can finally go back to playing Mario Kart and Splatoon and all the way that I like to. The second Sonic movie, yes, I've heard that. It's like April or something, 2022. I was worried that was gonna hit me. Thought I was far enough away from it though. Apparently not. But yes, I have heard. I cannot wait to see what that's gonna be like. But yeah, I saw Game Explain post a video on it. I commented something along the lines of, like, can't wait to see how much Olive Garden product placement the sequel has. Because that, to me, looking back on it, is the most memorable part of the movie. Is just how much product placement there was. Kind of like Hawaii Five-0. Where they say Bing it instead of Google it. And where they are advertising a bunch of Windows products and Subway. So anyway, product placement's always funny, especially when it's like blatantly obvious like it is in the Sonic movie. It's like blatantly obvious. It's not just Olive Garden either, it's also like Zillow. It's just like shameless. Meanwhile, E.T. did not do that. E.T.'s is very subtle with the Reese's Pieces. Not Sonic. Was there an Olive Garden reference? Oh yes, there were multiple. Like, it wasn't a reference. It was literally an advertisement in the movie. Like, I would not call that a reference by any means. Like, it was pretty much blatantly just an advertisement put in as dialogue. I lost 2 points there. The Olive Garden joke was funny. Was it? I really think it was just funny because it was just bad. Like, I found myself laughing at it because I couldn't believe how blatantly obvious it was just product placement. No telling how much Olive Garden paid to be in that movie. But yeah, they referenced Olive Garden throughout it, and we'll see if that trend continues in the sequel. I bet it will. I bet it will. But yeah, wasn't too big of a fan of it. Just like how when I look at like Hawaii Five-0 and the product placement in that show, you just have to laugh at how bad it is. Like it's really bad. It's just really poorly written into the dialogue because it often feels forced, like the Olive Garden reference. Like just like the fact that the characters on Hawaii Five-0 say "bing it." Like, no one says "bing it." No one says "bing it." Like, that's not, like, natural, like, natural human speech. Even if people do use Bing, they still say Google. At this point. They're not going to say, well, let's web browser search it, or something. They're not going to say that. They're going to say Google it. It's just... Sometimes product placement is just... It's just so bad. Or where it just, like, blatantly, like, shows, like, a web page or something with, like, a logo or something. Like, I remember that happening on Good Witch, which usually does not have product placement, but... One episode, Good Witch just blatantly had like an ad for Universal Studios by having Universal Studios the webpage pulled up for it. I'm like, wow, I can't believe Good Witch stooped to this level. They only ever did it once that I noticed, but they did do an advertisement for Universal Studios, but just having it pulled up on a computer. I was like, okay. It's just like native advertising. Like, it's just cringy. So, like, BuzzFeed is literally just ads. You might not know they're ads, but they're ads. Same kind of just like, oof. That's how I would describe it. It's just like that's a thing. Sonic movie was overall a good movie. Yes, I would agree with that though. I thought it was fine. Like, I went into it expecting it to be awful. Like, I went into it expecting it to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And so then when it wasn't, and it was just like fine. Like I wouldn't say it's necessarily good. Like, if I had to put it on a scale of like 10, I'd probably give it like a 6. Like, it wasn't like the worst movie I've ever seen by far. But also was not amazing. It was just like fine. Like, it was a good kids movie. Yeah, so I was actually pleasantly surprised when I went and saw the Sonic movie, but primarily that is because I went in with incredibly low expectations. Because I was like, well, if they messed up the design of Sonic, like, they probably messed up everything else, and they didn't. The only, well, I mean, I don't know, there were things they could fix. The plot points could have been a lot better. From a just screenplay writing standpoint. Pretty much. Like, you know, Plan A and Plan B could have been stronger. Pinch 1, midpoint. The low point definitely could have been stronger because it was identical to the midpoint. Pretty much, it's like, oh no, Sonic's knocked out. What do we do? Stakes are raised. And then it's like, oh no, it's the low point. What's happened? Sonic's been knocked out again. It's like, oh, okay, so they use the same exact concept for two different points of the movie. So, yeah. And a lot of it was just stuff that kind of like happened to the characters instead of the characters taking action. So because of that, like the story was very just like meh. Like it was very like it was fine, but all the things that you're supposed to do when writing a screenplay, they like did it in some ways to too much of a point. Like they just did it to do it, pretty much. They're just like, oh wait, we need like a midpoint here. What are we gonna do to raise the stakes? Let's knock Sonic out. But wait, isn't that our low point? Yeah, it's fine. People won't notice, but people did notice. I noticed it was lazy writing. I noticed. Anyway, climax could have been better for the movie, because the climax pretty much lasted like 1 minute. Sonic like banishes Eggman, and that's pretty much it. But overall, not awful. I've seen a lot worse. And you like the bar scene. Yeah, you know, the bar scene was not bad. I feel like they could have come up with a better. I feel like that was plan A. That was plan A. The road trip and the bar fight. I feel like that was plan A in pinch one. Like, looking at it, because I think it was road trip, bar fight, pinch, and then the plan B was, I'm sorry, I'm speaking in terms of, like, screenplay writing. That's what happens when you majored in it. And then plan B was the road trip segment part 2 with the Eggman fight against, like, the Eggman vehicle drone thing. Where Sonic gets knocked out. Like, oh no, that whole segment in the movie could have been stronger. Climax could have been a little bit more epic, but overall, not bad. But bar scene was good. Like, I feel like of the whole plan, like from plot point 1 through midpoint, bar fight was actually pretty good. The whole Eggman chase sequence was also pretty good. Midpoint could have been better. It's the points when the plot was supposed to change that could have been better. Yes, he did get knocked out twice. Think about that. He gets knocked out, and then that leads into the reevaluation part of the movie. So it's where, like, okay, Sonic's knocked out, now the main character dude, I don't remember his name, and like his wife and like their family, they like regroup, they're like talking things through while Sonic's knocked out. And then we get to the point where they go to plan C, they're at the building. Then we have you know, the low point where Sonic gets knocked out again after doing the whole chase sequence with, like, Eggman. Yeah, I guess the building sequence and the chase sequence with Eggman. That's plan C. And then, yeah, the low point is him getting knocked out again. And then, like, the main character guy has his whole, like, speech. You know, he's like speaking about Eggman, like speaking to Eggman about Sonic. And he's like, because I'm protecting him because he's my friend. And then Sonic gets up after being knocked out again. And then, like, banishes Eggman. And that's the whole... like, that was, yeah. So there we go. I just ran through, like, all the plot points. And pinch 1, pinch 2. Well, what was pinch 2? I guess pinch 2 would have been, like, Sonic's back, they're going to the building. Then plan C was building through Yeah, this all sounds correct to me. Building through, like, chase sequence through using the rings as portals with Eggman. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole thing. And Jim Carrey, I think he did a good job. I went in expecting it to actually be awful because I didn't find him in the trailers to be funny at all. But then turned out to be good. Like, not bad. Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, like, I found the movie funnier than I thought it was going to be, because, honestly, it looked bad, personally to me. I wasn't impressed by the trailers, first of all, because of the Sonic design, but then also I thought the way that it, like, just the acting all around looked really bad. But then it ended up being, like, fine. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't personally call Jim Carrey amazing at it, but, like, I mean, I don't think anyone else would have worked better. It's just like, I feel like overall it was fine, and I did end up enjoying it more than I thought I would going into it, Piranha Plant Slide, because I don't know, I really went in expecting to see the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and then it ended up just being fine. But yeah, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. I'm hoping the next movie's better. I still prefer Detective Pikachu. I still think that one's better. It hit plot points much better. Like, it did it a lot better, I think. It had more interesting and unique turns. Granted, it's been a while since I've seen that one, and I mean, I don't know, when did the Sonic movie come out? It was this year, wasn't it? I'm fairly certain, right? It was February 14th, right? This year. But yeah, so we have 2 years to wait, and I think it'll be fine. It was February. Okay, couldn't remember if it was February this year or last year. Sometimes it's hard to remember. So then that means, yeah, that means Detective Pikachu was last year. That sounds right. And that's already getting like a sequel and a spin-off, I think, from what I've been hearing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, honestly. You know, I think it's one of the better video game movies we've gotten, so I'm not disappointed by it. You know, I just thought it was fine. Detective Pikachu, I thought was, like, good. Like, I like the story behind it. I like how they made that a, like, father-son kind of movie. That was like, a nice little surprise. You know, yeah, I liked Detective Pikachu. I thought it was very nice. Sonic, not as much. I just thought it was like kind of okay, but I believe, based on the way that the Sonic movie did in the theater, and you know, based on everything that I saw from the first movie, that the sequel could actually probably be better. Honestly, maybe it'll get a 7 or an 8 out of 10 from me next time. I'm not going to discount it. Thought it was pretty decent. But yeah, you're trying to think of the worst movie you've seen. I don't know if I can think of the worst movie I've seen. I know I've seen a lot worse than the Sonic movie, though, that's for sure. I think there's this one movie from Disney that I've seen, and I haven't seen it since I was like a kid, but I remember it being absolutely awful. And maybe it's not, and I just thought it was awful as a kid, but I think it was like Black Hole. That sounds right. Some Disney movie. It's like a really old movie too. But I remember that one being really bad. I haven't seen it in quite a while, so I don't know, maybe little kid me just had a different opinion on it. But I remember really not liking it. But yeah, it was like a live-action Disney movie. Okay, 7th. I'll probably lose some points there. No, I'm gaining points. Great. Good Dinosaur. I don't think I've seen that. You don't like the Madagascar movies? I haven't seen them in long enough to remember, honestly. Animal Crossing. But yeah, Madagascar. I think I've seen all of them, but it's been a while. Yeah, I don't remember. Like, Madagascar I've not seen since pretty much whenever the movie came out. Although Universal in one of their parks has a whole Madagascar section, so there must be something to it, I guess. I don't know. Worst movie? I'm really trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. And like, I've said that I'm not a big Marvel fan, and that I don't really like the Marvel movies, but I don't necessarily think they're bad. I just think they're very repetitive because they just keep sticking to the same plot points. Like they all just feel like the same movie to me. And the reason for it is because like it's a plug and play formula. I mean, when it boils down to it, all movies follow the exact same plot. I don't know if anyone's noticed that, but all movies follow the exact same plot. Hence me being like, oh yeah, there's Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, midpoint, stakes raised, things like that. Like all movies, unless like it's a really experimental film, all movies will follow that format. But Marvel and Disney in general just follows it too much. like they just do it too much. Like it's also on the nose. Like they almost always do it right when it's supposed to happen, because if you have a script, it's supposed to be about 90 to 120 pages. Usually, you expect about 120. And so 2 hours. It's supposed to be a page a minute if you're using something like Final Draft to write the script. And so because of that, every plot point needs to happen at about 15 pages or 15 minutes between one another. So, inciting incident is supposed to happen at the 15-minute mark. Plot point 1 is supposed to happen at the 30-minute mark. Things like that. And so because of that, like, and of course that can vary. Like, usually, like, that could be, like, a couple minutes earlier, a couple minutes later. Like, it could be, like, inciting incident could be at 10 minutes. It could be at 20 minutes. It doesn't necessarily have to be at 15 minutes. But with pretty much every Disney movie, if you go and watch it, it's always at the 15-minute mark. It's always at the 30-minute mark. It's always at the 45-minute. Like, it's on the nose, like, pretty much within it by a couple seconds. And I mean, that does vary occasionally, but like they stick to that all the time. Another good movie that does it, at least within that margin, pretty well, and one of the reasons why I know that some people teach Back to the Future, Back to the Future also sticks very closely to those plot points, which is interesting. We tend to see stuff like that. So, we have like, and also another thing with movies is the want-need dynamic. Every character You love Back to the Future? Me too. I also really like Back to the Future, and I'm not saying that like sticking to plot points is bad, because it is technically what you're supposed to do. So sticking with plot points is not bad. It's just usually when you do it in such a way where it's like exactly where you expect it to be and exactly what you expect it to be, then the plot point isn't as strong. So like one of the reasons why I think Back to the Future, even though it sticks with the plot points where they need to be, the turning points of the film, one of the reasons I think Back to the Future works so well is because of Marty's want-need dynamic. You know, Marty is the guy that is like, okay, he wants to hang out with his girlfriend, play some rock and roll, make a name for himself, but his need is actually to, like, help his family, you know? And we see that with the inciting incident, right? Like, what happens at the inciting incident 15-minute mark in Back to the Future, the original? Well, you know, it's his car's totaled. He's no longer able to go to Lake, you know, because Biff totaled it. And then, of course, plot point 1 is he gets sent back to 1955, and that's pretty much, from what I remember, exactly at the 30-minute mark in that movie, which is exactly where it's supposed to be in the script. So, but yes, Ditto, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. I'm just, like, now going on about movies and plot points and things. Nope, wasn't able to knock them out there. A little disappointing. Friend request received. Cool, I can accept that right after this match, once I'm back in the lobby. Who's your least favorite driver and why is it Waluigi? Poor Waluigi. He wasn't even in Mario Kart 7. He got replaced by, I guess, Wiggler and Honey Queen. Okay, let me pick something. Sherbet Land. Okay, I saw that I got a friend request. Let me accept this. Okay, cool. Kind of sad that Back to the Future trilogy is being taken off of Netflix. Is it really? Oh, that's disappointing, because I've seen it go on and off Netflix. Like, they keep putting it on there for, like, a couple weeks. Or months. And then take it off, and then they put it back on there, and then they take it off again. And I don't know why. But yeah, those movies, like, need to be on there. They're really good movies. July 31st. Oof. In all honesty, though, your least favorite's me. Gotcha. I mean, I don't know. Least favorite driver. I need to think about this. No, never mind, I don't. It's Pink Gold Peach. It's Pink Gold Peach. Either that or it's Baby Rosalina. That's probably my next immediate least favorite. Just because they're blatantly taking up slots that should have gone to, like, Funky Kong, or Birdo, or Petey Piranha. But, you know, it's fine. But yeah, Back to the Future is great. Like, and one of the reasons why it is taught, usually, well, not usually, but why it has been taught, like, in you know, film school. Like, I actually did a project on it. By choice. I was it was like, pick a movie, talk about the plot points. I was like, Back to the Future. Gonna get this one. Because Back to the Future, it's very easy to see the plot points in the original film. But the want-need dynamic and how the plot points are done, I think, is pretty creative. Much better than the Sonic movies' way of doing it, as I was talking about earlier. Anyway. But yeah, so they're taking, like, 60 shows and movies off of Netflix. Ugh, that's disappointing. Yeah, it's... Like, you know, I like streaming services, but sometimes it's very hard to find shows that you want to watch. Especially older shows. So, like, even with, like, Hulu and Amazon Prime and, like, Netflix, like, I still can't find shows that I want to watch sometimes. Like, a few months ago, I was trying to find Gilligan's Island, because I hadn't watched that in a long time. Hadn't watched it since I was a kid, and I was like, I want to watch some Gilligan's Island. None of them had it. None of them had it. And that's the same with other shows too. Like, what's another good example here? Trying to think. Oof, I was trying to avoid that bullet bill, and then that did not work. Netflix isn't very good anymore. Yeah, I know. Like, the thing is it has a couple shows on there I watch, but then, like, that's the thing with every streaming service. Like, I have Hulu pretty much for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Stargate. And that's pretty much it. Gotta be honest. But hey, you know, if I want to watch some Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something, then I can. Andy Griffith's show? I don't think any of them have that either. I haven't looked. But yeah, no streaming service has all of Pokemon. Yeah, I think Ring Ring's right in that it does have some Pokemon, but I don't think it has like all the Pokemon. And I think you are able to watch a decent amount of it on the Pokemon website, though. Like, not all of it, but I believe you can watch like some of the first couple seasons, I think, on the Pokemon website. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and they have stuff like that on Netflix as well, where sometimes it's just like a little bit of a show, which is weird. But yeah, yeah, Hulu I pretty much have for the Josh Whedon shows, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it has Firefly and Dollhouse and Buffy and Angel. Yeah. So that's and then it has all the Stargate shows, and I also think the Librarians. You can tell that I'm a total nerd if you haven't figured that out yet. So back when Josh Whedon was good, before he started doing things like the Avengers. But yeah, so although I mean he did have a hand in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which has been like fine. He like came up with like the show bible for it and all, and he also co-wrote the pilot. So, and I mean it is still Mutant Enemy. So, but yeah, I don't know. Josh Whedon was definitely better in the '90s / early 2000s. That's for sure. And oh, did Twitch do like streams of Oh wow, interesting. That's cool. I did not know they did that. That's neat. Streams of every Pokemon of the first anime. Very cool. Ooh, no item box. That's concerning. Okay. Shocked. Oh no. Well, I had caught up a bit, but... Oh jeez. Okay. Double item box. Still gonna lose some points there. But yeah, streaming services, kind of annoying. I do have a lot of stuff on DVD. And I do have a DVD player, I just don't have any of it hooked up. Because it's much easier to just have Google on your phone and have it on your TV and then just cast everything to it. Just use your phone as a remote, pretty much. But yeah, yeah, just it is hard to find stuff. Like, I had been like watching Murder, She Wrote on Amazon Prime, but then they took it off Amazon Prime. So like it's really hard to find some of the older stuff. Like, you know, I hadn't seen like Murder, She Wrote since I was like a kid. So it's like, I'm gonna go back and watch the 12 seasons of Murder, She Wrote. And then by the time I got through about season 1, they took it off just suddenly. Like, it just wasn't there one day. So that was a little disappointing. But yeah, it's just hard to find stuff like that. I Dream of Jeannie, couldn't find it anywhere. But yeah, a lot of like 50s, 60s shows. I Love Lucy. I don't think that's anywhere either. That's a very like famous show. Why is it not on a streaming service? Like, there's 9 seasons of that show. It's just weird. But yeah, anything like, especially, I mean, I say old, and anything that's like pretty much like from 70s on back, you cannot find. Which is just kind of disappointing. It really is. You binged all of Doctor Who on Amazon Video? Gotcha. And now that's, like, not on there, I believe. I think it's now on HBO Max. Either that or it's still on there, but now you have to, like, pay for it. Or maybe you had to pay for it before. No, it was just the most recent season that you had to pay for. Yeah, I did not know that you watched Doctor Who. I don't think we'd talked about this before, Ditto. That is great. Do you have a favorite Doctor? Mine is Peter Capaldi, actually. It was David Tennant for a long time, but Peter Capaldi won me over. I'm in 12th. This is going great. You're a few seasons behind now. What was the last season you watched? Do you remember? Yeah, the show isn't as great now because they changed showrunners again. Favorite Doctor is Dr. Mario. It's not Dr. Goomba Tower or Dr. Dolphin. Oh boy, because that app just keeps getting stranger, doesn't it? Dr. Mario World just keeps being weird, but Tom Baker, hands down, no contest. Tom Baker is great. That is also very true. He's up there for me as well. He's basically David Tennant, but with a long scarf and from the 70s and 80s. Those doctors have very similar personalities. I guess Mount Oreo. But you'd seen all the way through the end of Capaldi. Okay, so did you see Twice Upon a Time? Did you see Capaldi's regeneration on a Whittaker? But yeah, okay, so you haven't seen any of the recent stuff with Jodie Whittaker, 13th Doctor. Okay, you saw the regeneration episode. Okay. Yeah, Ring Ring, you haven't seen Doctor Who? Well, if you like sci-fi, you would like Doctor Who. But, well, I mean, I say sci-fi. Doctor Who pretty much can change genres whenever it wants to. That's one of the nice things about the show. Is even though, like, it technically is sci-fi, I mean, it's about an alien that travels around to time and space, it can change genre. So, like, sometimes it's sci-fi, sometimes it's fantasy. Like, sometimes they encounter something like Robin Hood or something. Sometimes it's historical, so they'll go meet a historical person. Sometimes it's like a horror movie. It really kind of depends on the episode, which is actually quite nice. That's one of the good things. And also the cast completely changes about every 3 years, so that's another fun thing with it. The main character changes all the time. I mean, it's still the same character, but they have different people playing the character, which is a lot of fun. So it constantly reinvents itself, which is good. Is it on Hulu? I think now it's only on HBO, which is a very strange place for Doctor Who. But, you know, maybe there's still some stuff on Amazon. But yeah, I don't think it's on Hulu. You can't stand sci-fi, but Doctor Who's different. Yeah, because Doctor Who uses the sci-fi to do whatever it wants. And Capaldi, technically, like, they've really messed it up. And I don't want to spoil anything for you with the recent stuff, because it messes it up even more. But technically speaking, Capaldi is the 12th in terms of numbering, but he's the 13th actor to have played the role, and he's the 14th incarnation overall. Because David Tennant regenerated into David Tennant, so that counted as 2 regenerations, and then the War Doctor was between 9 and 10. So, not 9 and 10, between 8 and 9. So because of that, that sort of makes the 10th Doctor the, 11th regeneration, and the 9th Doctor the 10th. And then, but it also makes the 10th Doctor the 11th and 12th regeneration, which makes the 11th Doctor the 13th. So technically he's the 14th. But in actuality, the 10th Doctor is counted twice, and then the War Doctor is not counted in the numbering. You forgot about the regeneration that wasn't the regeneration. Yeah, it's very confusing. But yeah. So anyway, that's the strangeness with the numbering. But yeah, the recent 2 seasons have been, I mean, they've not been great. Yeah, the War Doctor isn't counted, and the reason for it is just they didn't want to renumber things, pretty much. Like, think about that. They have to just, like, renumber everyone. That'd be a little annoying. Because that at the time would have required them to renumber the 9th, 10th, and the 11th Doctor. Because the War Doctor wasn't technically invented or revealed until the 11th Doctor, so it would have required them to renumber things. Same reason why David Tennant's not counted twice, because he's technically the 11th and the 12th regeneration, but they just call him 10th Doctor. But yeah, the recent seasons have not been great. And, You'd contribute to this conversation, but you know nothing about Doctor Who. Yeah, that's okay, but you've been watching My Hero Academia. I think you've told me about that before. Isn't that like an anime? I don't watch anime, so I don't know. But hopefully you're liking that show. I don't know anything about it. But yeah, the recent seasons haven't been great. And I mean, you know, some of the episodes have been, like, fine, but because of the new showrunner, the writing is just pretty bad. It doesn't feel as witty, if I'm being honest. It's not, oh no, like, it's poorly written. It's very hard to explain until you watch it, but it's not good. There are 1 or 2 episodes that are amazing, I will say that, but they're few and far between. Guess that's why catching up hasn't been a huge priority. And, like, here's the thing. A lot of people have been blaming it on Jodie Whittaker. A lot of people have been blaming it on it being a female Doctor, which I don't think is a problem. I made last. But that's not the problem. The problem is not with Jodie Whittaker, because Jodie Whittaker is a great actress, and anyone would know this. Anyone, if they watched Broadchurch. And if you watch Broadchurch, where she plays the mother of a like murdered child. Um, she is amazing in that. Like she's absolutely spectacular. Um, and like she's not the problem. It's that she has bad scripts and she's trying to work with bad scripts. Because I absolutely believe that she can play the Doctor really well, and with what she's been given, I think she does play the Doctor really well. Um, One major gripe you've heard is that the new Doctor didn't really do anything to make the character her own. That's that's true. Like she definitely is playing it like a David Tennant, Matt Smith character, but I also feel like that's because that's the way the writing's been pushing it. Because like if you notice with like series 8 with Peter Capaldi, that felt very different from series 9 and 10, because with series 8 he's all brooding and he's like my good man, like they tried to make him this like darker, more mysterious character when they went away from that direction fairly completely after series 8. They were like, no, let's make him a little bit more of like a rock star character. Let's give him a guitar. let's give him the Sonic sunglasses, which absolutely ridiculous idea, but you know what, whatever. And the reason why they did that is they did actually consult Peter Capaldi there, where I don't know if they're actually doing that with Whittaker as much. The outfit was definitely like something that she helped out with, and I feel like the outfit's really cool and really unique. But you know, I think it's primarily the writing. I don't think it's her. I really think that with what they've been given, I think the actors are doing a good job. I just really think it's the writing. The stories have just not been there. And, oh, it's your first anime and you're liking it? Okay. That's cool. What is it about? Roughly. Like, if you could describe it in, like, a sentence, what is it? But yeah, I mean, I feel like part of it is, like, maybe the Doctor doesn't feel unique, but that's also partially because of the writing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how they can fix it. If they do, they have about a season to actually... I mean, I think it's really the stories. The stories are pretty bad. And they did improve slightly in Series 12. So, like, Series 11 was pretty awful to me, except for Kerblam. That one I really liked, because it felt like the most Doctor Who-like episode, and, like, it just felt like a Doctor Who episode to me. It really did. And then Series 12 gave a little bit more effort into it, because it brought back some characters, and you know, it brought back some themes, and it actually had a plot over all the episodes, which Series 11 did not. So it did improve, but it's still a long way from, like, feeling as good as the original couple, like, well, as good as the original show, as you know, classic Who, but it's also, like, a far cry away from New Who. It's not as witty. Like, the plots aren't as interesting. They aren't feeling like puzzles. They're just kind of like, meh, we had to write an episode, so here you go. That's how it feels. That is how I would actually feel, like, describe most of the episodes recently. It was just like, well, we had to write an episode, so here's one about evil plastic-made, or plastic-eating microbes. It's like, okay. It's just okay. Oh, it's... I don't even know how to describe the most recent seasons. It's just blech. And I don't think it's due to the acting of the characters at all. I really, really feel like it's due to the writing. And Doctor Who is almost 60 years old. I believe it's 57. It's 57. So here's to hoping that the 13th, 12th, 11th, and 10th Doctors get together for a special for the 60th. They usually do that, so hopefully they do. They did one for the 50th. They did one for the 30th and for the 25th. I don't think the show was on air for the 40th. They might have done something. I don't really remember. Maybe it was on air for the No, it was not. It was not. So they typically do something like that. So we'll see. So let's see. Okay. MHA is about a kid who has no powers while trying to be a hero in a world where everyone has powers. Interesting. So, it's the plot of Sky High. That's what it sounds like with it sounds like to me. Let's see. So you would have loved to have had 2 more seasons with Eccleston. Yeah, Chris Eccleston was pretty good. I don't know if he really had a lot of good episodes, but, you know, like, I wasn't really a big fan of the 2-parter with the Slovene. I feel like there's others. The original one that took place with the space station, what is the name of it? It's not Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways. I don't remember the name of the first space station one. I really don't. But that episode I didn't like. I don't know, just overall, his first season was okay, and I would have liked to see more. Because if he had some of the like plot points or plot lines from season 2, probably would have been really good. Would have really liked to have seen him in that. But yeah, like I'd say like a third of the 9th Doctor's episodes I just kind of thought were bad, but some of them were really good. Like I liked what was the name of... I'm trying to think of it. The Empty Child, the Doctor Dances. That was good. And also, Juicelander. Wait. Hold on. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Anyway. But let's see. Lemmy Koopa, welcome. Let's see. Let's go with... I guess Royal Raceway. Juicelander? Yeah, I know. Like, do you see that too, correct? Who knows? Anyway, well, it worked. Fascinating. Anyway. My follow count went up. Weird. Anyway, Juicelander, whatever, I'll take it. Favorite companion. Rose I like a lot. Sarah Jane I also like a lot. Clara, depending on the season. But interesting. Oh, sorry, what's Sky High? It's a Disney movie from like the mid to late 2000s. And Thunderfan, hello, welcome. There should be video. I'm seeing video on Twitch. Oh no, stream running fine for everyone else. Although we did just get a follow for Juicelander, apparently. But let's see. Clara, depending on the season, because season 7, Clara was like, okay. Season 8, I didn't like Clara. Like, they pretty much just changed her personality every season. It was quite weird. You know, they're like, what can we do to make Clara interesting this season? That's pretty much what she's there for. I liked her in Series 9 the best. Okay. The stream is looking okay for you. Good to know. Anyway, yeah, it's looking fine for me as well. Like, there was a dip in the bitrate apparently a little while ago, but it probably wouldn't have made the video cut out, so... Juicelander. Yes, indeed. It's funny. How did that happen? What even was that? I don't know. Anyway. K9 is great, I will say. K9 is a lot of fun. Oh yeah, another problem, here we go, another problem with the most recent seasons, is that there's too many characters, so it's hard for them to write them well. Oh yeah. I did say that the stream was only going for an hour. I forgot about this moment. So we'll do 2 more races because of that. Oh, you can just add me. My friend code is, like, in the channel description on Twitch. So you can just add me. I'll accept your friend request. But yeah, let's do 2 more races and I'll end the stream there. So we'll go a little over an hour. But yeah, sorry for the streams only being 1 hour for the past couple days instead of 2. Just been busy unpacking things like my wireless GameCube controller. But yeah, so yeah, just send me a friend request, then you can hop in. K9 is cool. Yeah, another reason that the most recent seasons of Doctor Who haven't been good, not just because the plots of the episodes have been bad, but because they have 4 main characters. They have the Doctor, and then 3 companions. And that's just been too much, because they've only been able to give them a little bit of development. My code is, like, it should be right underneath the stream. It should be, anyway. It should be in the, like, about section of the channel. Well, it's definitely there. I know it is. So just try to search around for it. But yeah, I'm gonna do 1 race after this one, so hopefully you can at least join in for that one. It's in the About tab, yep. Which I believe is the default thing for whenever a stream is live, but maybe it's not. Is it not? That's why I've been saying the About tab. Just be like, I've been saying description, About tab. I usually try to say About tab. Oh yeah, it probably does change based on whether you're watching on mobile or PC. I'm like always watching stuff on PC, so... I feel like About is the default on PC though. Maybe it's not, I don't know. Because I don't watch the watch page whenever I'm streaming. I watch it from like the stream manager thingamajig. But yeah, so like when they had Amy and Rory, that was only 2 companions, and they were able to give a decent amount of development to both. Especially because, like, Rory was pretty much barely in Series 5. So they were able to focus a lot on Amy, and then they were able to add in Rory and give Rory development later in Series 6 a little bit more. So, but yeah, with this, where they have so many companions all at one time, it's very hard for them to, like, come up with a really good character development and really good character arcs. Like... Yaz, who's one of the companions, like, she's gotten like 0 character development. So I don't know, hopefully they fix that by having like 1 or 2 of them leave. Let's go with Moo Moo Meadows. Yeah, hopefully they can manage to fix that, because that's another like writing fault of that show. But yeah, I think this will be the last race here. Unless I do get a friend request, then I'll accept that, and then we can do one more. Captain Jack. Oh yeah, and then he... No, I'm not saying anything. Oh. Yes. He was a great companion. I don't want to... No, I'm not even going to say that. Yes. And he also got a spinoff. So, the spinoff is also fine sometimes. I like the first 2 seasons of it, and then the rest of it's kind of okay. But yeah, he was cool in the first couple seasons. No, he didn't. He didn't make an appearance. I'm sorry. I pretty much gave that away by accidentally. Nothing. I'm not saying anything more. I'm not gonna tell you what happens. That was a fluke on my end. I'm so sorry. That Jack may become... He might have something to do. I just won't say anything more than that. I'm not concerned about spoiling. Well, some people are. Some people would be really mad about that. But yeah, that was a... Alright, fine. I mean, yeah, Jack does come back. I won't say how or what, but quite interesting, I will say. I don't want to say anything else beyond that, so that way you can actually be at least slightly surprised when you watch it. But, No, Jack's character is really great, especially in like the first, like pretty much the ninth and 10th Doctor arcs. Really, really cool. And he was supposed to come back for A Good Man Goes to War with the 11th Doctor, but couldn't due to filming Arrow at the time. But yeah. No, I'm actually not drinking Sprite. This is water. This is water. Water without high fructose corn syrup, natural flavors, or carbonation. So just regular old water. Alright, there we go. Second. That's pretty decent. Pretty good, actually. I haven't even been paying attention to my VR very much. Where is it at? Oh! It's actually going up to 8,200. Perfect. That's actually a great place to leave the stream. Looks like Sprite to you. It's definitely water. Alright, here we go. Anyway, but yes, it's so great to have this controller back. Oh yeah. The Sonics, yeah, and then River Song also has like a Sonic trowel later, I believe. The whole Sonic thing is pretty funny. Although it gets to the point though in the later seasons where the Sonic starts being able to do pretty much everything. Like with this new showrunner Chris Chibnall. Another major problem is that the Sonic screwdriver pretty much for him and for the way he writes is the end all be all solution to everything pretty much. So it's like, oh no, I need to teleport somewhere, use the Sonic screwdriver. Like it's just like I don't think they actually do that, but just like it's usually for like really absurd things, where it's just like usually the Doctor would come up with some sort of really creative like makeshift solution to something, and now it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to wave my Sonic screwdriver and that's it. um like, do you have like a Sonic screwdriver TV remote? Is that what you're saying? That's actually kind of neat. I didn't know that was a thing if they do have that. Just realized we spent the whole stream talking about films and movies. Why not? Film is great. Yeah, I know. We started off talking about the Sonic movie and then just went from there. I was like, let's talk about all the plot points of the Sonic movie and how they could have been stronger. Yes, that did happen. Anyway, yeah. Next stream will be tomorrow, usual time. It might be 2 hours, it might be 1. I have been a little busy, so we'll see. What? You have a motion-controlled Sonic screwdriver that controls your TV? Where did you get that? Like, what? That is pretty exciting, actually. That's actually pretty cool. That doesn't need a sensor bar to be able to do that? Like how's that working if it's motion controlled? Or is it just a gyroscope in it that works? Got on Amazon? Okay. I'll have to look for this. This sounds interesting. Wow, that's a lot better than using the Wii U gamepad to control your TV volume and turn it on and all. Get a Sonic screwdriver. What does it look like? Does it look like the 10th Doctors, the 11th Doctors, the 12th Doctors, or the 13th Doctors? or one of the other ones. Could also look like War Doctor's or someone else's. I don't know. My guess is it's probably 10th or 11th. Those are like the most iconic sonic screwdriver designs. 12th only had his own sonic screwdriver for like 10 episodes. Diagram has a lot of timey-wimey calculations and whatnot. Interesting. It's Smith's. Okay, yeah. Figured it was one of those two. Figured it was either 10th or 11th. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Anyway, water. This is water. It is not Sprite. Although occasionally it is tea. Sometimes it's sweet tea. But yes, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider following me if you haven't already. I do a bunch of Nintendo content, so usually multiplayer, so you all can join in. So Mario Kart, Splatoon. Splatoon's actually going to be tomorrow, and Smash. And I also do Skylanders stuff as well. Try to do 1 or 2 streams of that every week too, where I'm doing a playthrough of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure on Tuesdays. Although after next week is going to be switching over to Giants, making our way through the games. But yeah, so next stream tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and it's going to be Splatoon. I literally just said that, but there we go. You're like 99. It is definitely water. It like it would be fizzing. I'm literally holding it next to the mic. Like here it is. It's oh, I just hit the mic again. I'm sorry. It's next to the mic. There'd be like a fizzing noise. There's not. It's not Sprite. I mean, it could. When's the name change to Juicelander? There's not a name change to Juicelander. Not a thing. Not gonna happen. But anyway, that's just, I don't know how that happened. How did that happen? It's quite interesting. Anyway, whatever. Well, tomorrow will be 2 hours. Unknown. Expect 1, and then if it's 2, it'll be 2. But yeah, it's just I've been busy. I've been unpacking things like the GameCube controller and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, it'll be either 1 or 2 hours. I don't know, but yeah. And Ditto, thanks for stopping by. I'll be sure to check out your speed run tonight. So if anyone also hasn't followed Ditto yet or checked out Ditto's content, please do so. Ditto also does Skylanders and does some Monster Hunter as well. Although going to be switching off Monster Hunter for a bit to do Tales of Symphonia, right? I think that's what you said the plan was. But yeah, so stream tomorrow, either 1 or 2 hours. It's going to be some Splatoon 2. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, join the Discord if you haven't. Links on the About tab on Mixer for that. That's where I post announcements about when I'm going live, polls about the channel, what you want to see improved, things like that. Okay, so yeah, Symphonia, cool. Maybe I'll have to watch like your first stream of that so I get an idea of the game, but don't get too many spoilers. feel like that'd probably be a good way to go about doing that, to kind of see like, okay, what's the gameplay like, what's it kind of look like, and then be able to kind of figure it out, because I think it'd be fun to also maybe do like a blind stream of it sometime or another, once I get around to doing that one on my backlog. But I think it'd be kind of cool. All right, anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and hope to see you in the next one tomorrow, or if not, next Mario Kart stream. And yeah, all right. And I'll definitely be watching Ditto's stream later if you want to go hang out then. It starts at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. I had to do that conversion in my head for a second, but that sounds right. Okay, so thanks, and see you in the next one. Bye.